Okay guys, here are the notes for your first week of daily language workouts. Your lesson topics for this week are as follows. Commas, dates, numbers, appositives, non-restrictive phrases and clauses, capitalization, run-on sentences, and using the right word. You should have your note-taker sheet handy so that you can answer the questions as we go along. Commas found in dates. Use commas to distinguish items in a date. Place a comma between the day of the month and the year. If the sentence continues on after the year, you will need another comma. For example, on August 28th, 1963, Martin Luther King Jr. gave his famous I Have a Dream speech. On your note-taker sheet, your notes should look as follows. You need to answer between the day of the month and the year, following the question, and add the commas in the sentence appropriately. Commas found in numbers. Use commas to separate digits in a number in order to distinguish hundreds, thousands, millions, and so on. For example, more than 140,000 people live in Kingston, the capital of Jamaica. In the numeric expression, the comma falls between the hundredths place and the thousandths place. Note, commas are not used in years. The world population was 6.1 billion by 2003. As you can see, there is no comma found within the number 2003 because it's a year. The answer to your question on your note sheet should be, they separate digits between hundreds, thousands, millions, etc. And please place the comma in the appropriate position. Commas found in appositives. An appositive is a word or phrase that identifies or renames a noun or a pronoun. A phrase is a group of words without a subject-verb component, and it is used as a single part of speech. For example, sumo wrestling, Japan's national sport, began as a religious ritual. There is a comma following wrestling and a comma following sport because Japan's national sport is the appositive. Japan's national sport renamed sumo wrestling, so the phrase is set off with commas. On your note-taker sheet, you should put down that an appositive is a word or phrase that identifies or renames a noun or a pronoun, and place the commas in the appropriate spots. Commas found in non-restrictive phrases and clauses. Non-restrictive phrases are also called non-essential. They are elements of a sentence that are not necessary to the meaning of the sentence. If you were to remove the non-restrictive word, phrase, or clause, the sentence would still have the same meaning. Non-restrictive words, phrases, and clauses serve to add extra detail to a sentence without changing its meaning, and they are marked by commas. For example, reusable shopping bags, relatively unknown 2 years ago, have exploded in popularity since the green movement became fashionable. In this sentence, relatively unknown 2 years ago is a non-restrictive phrase. While it adds detail about reusable shopping bags, if it were removed, it would still be clear that reusable shopping bags have become more popular with the rise of the green movement. The sentence would still have the same meaning if the phrase were removed, so the phrase is non-restrictive. A clause is a group of words containing a subject and a verb. There are two types, dependent and independent. Dependent clauses cannot stand on their own, while independent clauses are considered simple sentences. If you combine a dependent clause with an independent clause, you end up with a complex sentence. For example, the beach picnic was a success on that beautiful day, which was the first sunny day of the summer. In this case, which was the first sunny day of the summer is a non-restrictive clause because while it adds detail about the beautiful day, it does not affect the meaning of the sentence. The sentence would still have the same meaning, that the beach picnic was a success, without that clause. On your note-taker sheet, are non-restrictive phrases or clauses needed in a sentence? The answer is no. Why or why not? Because they're extra details and not needed for the sentence to be complete. Please place the commas appropriately in the two sentences below. Capitalization, basic rules. Number 1. If you refer to yourself and use the pronoun I, always capitalize it. If you're beginning a sentence, capitalize the first word. 3. Other items that are always capitalized are the title of something, such as a book, song, movie, TV show, etc. A day of the week, month of the year, or holiday. Countries, nationalities, or languages. Company names or trademarks. Athletic, national, political, social, and civic groups, such as the Boy Scouts. And planets, except for the Earth, Sun, or Moon. Checking your work. You should, in this sentence, capitalize this, I, beauty, beast, Saturday, and AMC cinema. Capitalization, the complicated rules. Always capitalize these. Names of relatives when used in a name or as a proper noun. For example, I received a gift from Uncle George. Can I go with them, Mom? Do not capitalize names of relatives when mentioned without a name. For example, I received a gift from my uncle. Always capitalize a person's title when preceding their name, or when used in direct address. For example, people attended the rally for Governor Brown. Do not capitalize a person's title when mentioned without a name. I went to the rally to see the governor. Complicated rules continued. Always capitalize directions that are names used as sections of the country. For example, my family lives in the Southwest. Do not capitalize direction words used as compass directions. For example, the mall is just south of here. Always capitalize seasons when they're used as a title. For example, I took a chemistry course in spring 2017. But do not capitalize seasons if they're used generally. This winter has been very cold. The answers to the questions on your note-taker sheet should be as follows. No, no, yes, and no. Run-on sentences. Sometimes you may accidentally write a run-on sentence by putting together two or more sentences. One type of run-on is called a comma splice, in which the sentences are connected with a comma only. Another type of run-on has no punctuation at all. One way to fix run-on sentences is to add a coordinating conjunction, such as and, so, or, but, for, yet, or nor, and a comma if not already present. Another way is to connect the sentences with a semicolon without the use of a conjunction. For example, the following is a run-on sentence. The Rock of Gibraltar stands between Europe and Africa. Less than 8 miles separate the continents. If you correct the sentence, it should read as follows. The Rock of Gibraltar stands between Europe and Africa, comma, and less than 8 miles separate the continents. On your note-taker sheet, the answer to your question is two complete thoughts without a comma and or coordinating conjunction. In the sentence example, you need to add the comma and the conjunction in the appropriate spot. Using the right word. Watch carefully for words that sound the same but mean something different. For example, your and your, two and two, four and four, right and right, it's and its, made and made, bear and bear, meat, and yes, meat is spelled wrong. It should be MEET/MEAT. Through and through, here and here, whole and whole, there and there. There are also words to watch out for that are often confused, such as bring and take, teach and learn, lay and lie, affect and effect, who and whom, among and between, than and then, can and may, chose and choose, lose and loose, fewer and less, good and well, and sit and set. If you refer to your glossary of terms that is in your binder while you're working on the practice, you should be able to find the information you're looking for. You do not need to copy anything specific down on your note sheet pertaining to this slide. And this concludes the lesson for week 1.